Hello friends, welcome once again to a Simultaneous online math class. In this video, we are going to discuss the word problems that are involved in simultaneous equation. If this is your first time of viewing, kindly hit the red button to subscribe to my channel. It will always give you a notification whenever I upload a new video. Alright, if you have been following my works on simultaneous equation, you will find out that we've dealt with so many things about simultaneous equation. So now we want to focus on the word problems that are involved in simultaneous equation. So take a look at this question here. It says that 4 knives and 6 plates cost 700 naira. 6 knives and 5 plates cost 800 naira. Find the cost of a knife and a plate. Let us assume you are a business person. You went to the market and you find out that when 4 knives and 6 plates are put together, the total cost is 700 naira. When 6 knives and 5 plates are put together, the total cost is 800 naira. You don't know the individual cost of a knife and a plate. There is a solution. Simultaneous equation can be employed to tackle this problem so that you will know a price you are going to set a knife and a plate in order to maximize profit. So before we begin the solution to this particular problem, let us use letters to represent knives and plates. So I am free to write let K represent knife and the P represent plate. If this is so, 4 knives and 6 plates cost 700 naira. Therefore, 4K plus 6 plates will give us 700 naira. That's the implication. So this is equation 1. In the second sentence, 6 knives and 5 plates cost 800 naira. 6 knives and 5 plates cost 800 naira. So I will call this equation 2. So I can now employ the usage of elimination method of solving simultaneous equation to solve this. And before I must eliminate a particular variable, I must make sure that the coefficients of the variable I wish to eliminate are equal. So now let me eliminate K. So before I can eliminate K, I can multiply equation 1 by 3 and multiply equation 2 by 2 so that both of them will have 12 as their coefficient. But sometimes, if it will confuse you, just interchange their coefficients and multiply. You will get the same result. So to avoid this confusion students find, let us always be interchanging coefficients to multiply. So I can now write equation 1 times 6 and equation 2 times 4. I interchange coefficients. So I will use 6 to multiply everything in equation 1. 6 times 4k will give me 24k plus 6 times 6p will give me 36p equals 6 times 700 will give me 4,200. This can be called equation 3. Now in equation 2, I will multiply by 4. I have 4 times 6k, which is 24k, plus 4 times 5p, which is 20p, equals 4 times 800 should be 3,200. This can be called equation 4, but no space. Okay, now let us eliminate the value k. And to eliminate, I have to subtract, because when I say 24 minus 24, I will get 0. But if I go on to add here, I'm no longer eliminating k, I'm trying to increase the value. That is why we are going to subtract, because to eliminate means to do away with. So when I subtract k has been eliminated, then I have 36p minus 20p. This will give me 16p equals 4,200 minus 3,200 will give me 1,000. Okay, so to get the value of p, I will divide both sides by 16. So p will now be 1,000 divided by 16. 2 here is 500, y2 here is 8, 2 here is 250, y2 here is 4. 2 here is 125, y2 here is 2. Now when I divide 125 by 2, I will get 62 naira 50 kobo. When you divide this by 2, 62 naira 50 kobo. This is the cost of a plate. Now having got the cost of a plate, let us go on to get the cost of a knife. Okay, so substitute P equal to 62.5 in any of the equation. Let us use equation 1. In equation 1. So look at my equation 1 here. If I see P, I will put 62.5. So I will have 4K plus, look at 6P. So I will write 6 bracket P. I will put 62.5 for P equals 700. Then I'll open the bracket. 62.5 times 6. What will it give us? So let's multiply 62.5 times 6. Let's see. 6 times 5 is 30. You write 0, carry 3. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3, you have 15. Carry 1. 6 times 6 is 36. Plus 1, you have 37. So it is 375.0. And 0 is nothing. So we are working with 375. I can now write 4K plus 375 equals 700. 4K equals 700 minus 375. When positive crosses the equality sign, it turns to negative. So we shall have 4K equals 700 minus 375 should be 325. So we shall have 325. To get the value of K, I will divide both sides by 4. 4 cancel 4. Now, 4 divide 32 will give me 8. 4 divide 5 will give me 1, remainder 1, which is 0.25 when you take this division. So this is now 81 naira 25 kobo. This is the cost of a knife, and the cost of a plate is 62 naira 50 kobo. So let us take a second problem to ensure you master these solutions to word problems that are seen in simultaneous equations. So the second question goes to us: the sum of the digits of a 2-digit number is 11. The digits, when interchanged, the number is decreased by 9. Find the number. Okay, so now we have 2-digit number. Let's say the number is xy. Xy can be 1 and 2, that is 12, can be 3, 5, it can be 4, 8, etc. But we don't know the 2-digit number they are talking about. So let's assume that xy is now standing for the 2-digit numbers. And we are told that the sum of the digits is 11. Therefore, when I add the digits, which are x and y, I will get 11. I will tag this equation 1. That's the first sentence. The second one says, the digits, when interchanged, the number is decreased by 9. That is, if they interchange this, instead of xy and they have yx, that the number is decreased by 9. What are you sensing here? Let's say you have something like 43. If I interchange 43, I will get 34. This interchangement has caused this number to decrease by 9, this particular number. Because when I add 9 to 34, I will get 43. Okay? So the interchangement caused this particular number, 43, to decrease by 9. So whenever interchangement causes a number to decrease, it entails that the first digit is higher than the second digit. Because when you have number like 54 and I interchange it, I'll have 45. Okay? Okay, let me take another one, not 54. Let's take number like 57, for instance. If I interchange the digits, I will get 75. So the interchangement I made here caused this number to increase from 57 to 75. So an increase is made, no more a decrease, like this question. So when an increase is made, it means that the first digit is higher than the second digit. But when a decrease is made, it entails that the first digit is higher than the second digit. This is another important information you need to know when you encounter problems like this. So now let's go. The digits, when interchanged, the number is decreased by 9. So if I interchange it, I'll have 10x minus y, or 10x plus y, minus, I will explain, 10y plus x equals 9. Now you may be confused how I got all these things. Do you know that when you have 43, the value of this number is not 4 plus 3, but the value is 40 plus 3. That is, I multiplied 4 by 10 to get 40, because in your primary classes we are taught 100, tens and units. This is unit and this is tens. So the second digit is standing for tens. So if it is 4, it implies 4 times 10. If it is 5, it implies 5 times 10, etc. That is the idea. So this x here is not just x, but 10x. So when I want to take the sum of these digits, it implies 10x plus y. The interchangement, when I interchange, I'll be having yx. So in this case, y will now be 10y plus x, because the interchangement made y to be the tens unit. I would have written this first before this, but the original number is greater than the second number after the interchangement. That was why we used the word decreased. That is why the bigger must come first. And after the interchangement, the number decreased by what? 9. That is to tell you that the difference between the two numbers is 9. That is why I'm taking subtraction. As you can see here, 43 and 34, the difference is 9. Therefore, 43 minus 34 will give you 9. And that was why I wrote 10x plus y minus 10y plus x equal to 9. Now let me clean the board, then we open the bracket. So let's open the bracket, which I have 10x plus y. The negative sign affects everything in the bracket, which I have 10y minus x equals 9. Collect like terms. 10x minus x will give me 9x. Y minus 10y will give me minus 9y equals 9. Funny enough, the coefficient of x and y are equal, and the constant is also equal to the coefficients of x and y. Therefore, we can divide everything by 9 to get a simpler equation. So divide through by 9. Which I have, when I divide 9x by 9, I'll have x. If I divide 9y by 9, I'll have y. Divide 9 by 9, I'll have 1. So this is now equation 2. So I have formed equation 1 and equation 2. Now let me bring them together and solve to get the values of the x and the y. So I can write x plus y is 11, equation 1, and x minus y equals 1, equation 2. Now let us use the elimination method and solve to get the values of x and y. To eliminate x, I have to subtract, because x minus x is 0. So I'm subtracting here so that x will be eliminated. Then y minus y implies y plus y, which is 2y. 11 minus 1 will give us 10. So to get the value of y, I will divide both sides by 2, by 2, by 2. So y will give me just 5. I've got y. To get x, I will substitute y as 5 in any of the equations. So let me use equation 1. So substitute y equals 5 in equation 1. I shall have x plus 5 equals 11. 5 coming over will now be minus. So x is now 11 minus 5, which will give me 6. So now, let me clean here and make the final analysis. Remember, initially we said that the number is xy. And we've got our x as 6, and our y is now 5. So the number they are talking about is 65. Because when I interchange 65, I will get 56. And check the difference. From 56 to 65, you'll find out that the number is 9. That is why if you interchange 65, the number will decrease by 9. That is what they're talking about. And again, to be 100% sure that your answer is correct, they say that the sum of the digits will give you 11. And 6 plus 5 will also give us 11. From this, we conclude that the number is 65. If you've enjoyed what you've watched, kindly subscribe to my channel to get updated whenever a new video is out. Thank you.